Imagine this, a billionaire CEO sitting in her glass office high above the city, laughing at a janitor's resume, never realizing that the very man she mocked would one day hold the power to save the most precious thing in her heart. Sounds unbelievable, right? But let me tell you this story, and I promise, by the end, you'll see why you should never underestimate anyone, and if this story touches you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this one can change how we see the world. It all began in the bustling headquarters of one of the world's largest corporations, led by Victoria Hayes, a billionaire CEO with a reputation for being sharp, cold, and untouchable. She didn't believe in second chances, she believed in results. And on one ordinary morning, while scanning through applications for an assistant, she stumbled upon a resume that stood out, not for its excellence, but for its simplicity. It belonged to Daniel Brooks, a single dad and janitor who had once served in the military before life had beaten him down. His resume listed skills like problem-solving, leadership, and mechanical repair, but it lacked prestigious degrees or glamorous experience. Victoria smirked, showed it to her board, and laughed. A janitor applying for a corporate role? What's next, a street performer becoming CFO? The room echoed with laughter. Daniel, humiliated, overheard them as he was cleaning the hallway nearby. His heart sank, but instead of walking away, he whispered to himself, "One day, they'll see who I really am." Daniel wasn't just a janitor. He was a father raising his young daughter, Lily, all alone after losing his wife to illness. Every night, he worked extra shifts just to afford her schoolbooks and keep food on the table. He didn't dream of luxury, he only wanted stability for his little girl. But what Victoria didn't know was that her laughter would be tested in ways she could never imagine. Because beyond her hardened exterior, there was one secret Victoria guarded fiercely: she ran a private orphanage funded quietly under her name. Despite her cold corporate image, she had grown up in that very orphanage and made it her mission to ensure those children never felt abandoned the way she once did. But when an economic downturn struck and investors pulled their funds, the orphanage was on the brink of shutting down. For the first time, Victoria faced a battle her billions couldn't immediately solve. It was in that desperate moment that paths crossed again. One evening, as Daniel finished mopping the lobby floor, he overheard Victoria on the phone, her voice breaking, something no one had ever seen. She was pleading with a banker, trying to keep the orphanage afloat. He paused, shocked to see this steel-hearted woman with tears in her eyes. Against his better judgment, Daniel stepped forward and said softly, "I think I can help." Victoria glared at him at first, ready to dismiss him like she had before, but something in his voice made her pause. She asked bitterly, "And what could a janitor possibly do to save an orphanage?" Daniel took a deep breath and told her about his past. He had once been an engineer in the military, skilled in logistics and rebuilding projects from scratch, but after his wife's illness drained their savings, he had no choice but to take the only job he could find, cleaning floors. Skeptical but desperate, Victoria reluctantly gave him a chance. Together, they visited the orphanage. The roof leaked, walls were crumbling, and funds were nearly gone. The children, however, ran up to her with open arms, their laughter filling the broken halls. Daniel watched as Victoria softened, realizing her icy reputation was just armor for a heart that still cared deeply. That night, Daniel stayed late, drawing up plans to repair the building on a shoestring budget. He reached out to old army friends, skilled workers who owed him favors, and within days, a team of volunteers rallied. While Victoria offered what money she could, it was Daniel's leadership, resourcefulness, and relentless spirit that transformed the orphanage. Weeks passed, and where there had once been despair, there was now hope. The walls were repainted, classrooms restored, and a new playground built from recycled materials. Investors who once pulled away were touched by the story when the local press covered it and donations poured in. The orphanage not only survived, it thrived. For the first time, Victoria stood before the children without fear, realizing she had been saved too, not by money, but by a man she once mocked. In the closing moment, Victoria invited Daniel into her office. This time, there was no laughter. With genuine respect in her voice, she said, "I judged you by what I saw on paper, but I didn't see the heart behind it. From this day forward, I don't want you cleaning floors, I want you leading projects." Daniel, holding back tears, accepted, not for pride, but for Lily, who watched her father finally be recognized for the man he truly was. And so, the story that began with cruel laughter ended with redemption, respect, and a powerful lesson: never underestimate someone because of where they stand today. For tomorrow, that same person might be the one who saves you. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like Daniel's remind us that hope, courage, and kindness can change the world in ways money never could.